Northwest Bruin Football Show. I'm the head coach, Josh Robinson, and we're here to talk about our game versus Ringgold High School. Ringgold has a very good football team and played really well. Coach Crisp is a brand new head coach and has been under some really good coaches and learned a lot of things and is doing an excellent job. So we're definitely not taking anything away from them, but we made an astounding number of mistakes in the game that were really baffling. And the reason they're so baffling is I can fully say that we've not practiced that bad, let alone played that bad since spring practice. We just made so many mistakes and left so many opportunities out there. But at the same time, we're playing a good, solid football team that we knew could beat us if we did those things. And it's a learning thing. You know, the first two games, of course, we love the wins, and wins by large margins are always nice. But you don't really know a ton about your football team. I think we may have learned some things we will learn coming out of it. And that's what non-region games are for. We may win the next two against North Murray and Darlington. We may lose the next two. I don't really know. But if we learn our lessons and prepare ourselves for region play, then that's really the end game goal that we are out for, to make the playoffs, to win a region championship, and all those things that come with it. And non-region has to be a time of growth for us. And at the end of the day, we just didn't get the job done, so we've got to come back to work. Our young men practiced yesterday and had an outstanding day. We had 100% participation on a holiday, so it was really nice to see them coming out, willing to work, and interested in getting better and righting the ship this week against a very good North Murray team. Let's talk about our offensive stats. Gavin Knuckles was 21 for 35 for 251 yards, 2 touchdowns in his first interception. Gavin played really well at times, and then he struggled at other times. For him, he's got to have confidence all the time. He is a tremendously talented young man, and this was the first time he really faced on a Friday night some adversity. And I think he lost some confidence at times that hurt him with the things that he was trying to do and we were trying to do. And, you know, Coach Fisher and all of us had preached to him, we believe in you. Believe in yourself. No matter, you may throw 3 straight interceptions, but you're going to be a big part on a Friday night for us. And he's going to learn that. That's part of what all this is for, and he's a really good player, and our opinion of him hasn't changed. Rushing-wise, he had 10 rushes for 32 yards as well, did a good job scrambling for us. Jacob Lee had 5 carries for 25 yards, came in, did a really good job towards the end of the game. Cameron Collins had 8 carries for 19 yards. His yardage was a little more tough sledding than the other guys, and then Caden Ramsey had 5 carries for 18 yards as well. Receiving-wise, big night for Kendris Douglas. Again, kind of the way our offense works. Ken had 8 catches for 103 yards and a touchdown. I think coming into the game, I believe he only had 2 catches. So, you know, we have a lot of talented guys that are going to get the ball, and they're going to be spread around, and it depends on what the other team's doing, and they were leaving some things open with Ken, and Gavin did a great job of getting him the ball. Hudson Gray's kind of been the main consistent one so far. He's caught 5 balls for 78 yards and a touchdown, and he's been around that 3 to 5 catch, 80-yard mark with a touchdown almost every game. So we definitely need that to continue. Isaiah Foster, very explosive guy for us, had a few opportunities limited with just different looks that they were giving him. He ended up with 4 catches for 40 yards. Got to get him in the flow of the game. He's got to be engaged the whole time. He's too talented for us to not try and use and him to be a part of offense and defense. Austin Cooley had 2 tough catches for 22 yards. He usually makes the really tough ones. Did a good job for us, takes some big hits, and is still able to come up and be successful for us. Caden Ramsey out of the backfield had a catch for 7 yards, and then Brecken Sermons also had a catch on the evening for us for a low yardage total. So overall, some decent numbers out of our offense. We just couldn't string anything together other than mistakes that we strung together. So we'll continue to learn and we'll continue to grow on those as we go throughout the year. At this time, let's take a break as we look at the first half highlights. Here we are with the pregame handshake, and we have some of our younger guys out there as team captains. And Cristobal Campos kicking the ball off. This is really what we were wanting. This is softer turf. Cristobal had a little bit of a difficult time adjusting to it. They hit the first play on a cutback for us or against us. We ended up giving up a lot of yardage inside the 20 here. Caden Ramsey makes a really good play. Very good tackle by Dominique Johnson as he comes in and shoots. He's got to keep his feet running a little bit, but Avery O'Neal in on the tackle, and then Caden Ramsey on the blitz ends up breaking up the pass, and Ringgold goes and kicks the field goal to go up 3-0. Here we're hitting the hitch from Gavin Knuckles to Hudson Gray. We end up having to punt. Good job by Dawson Whitmore, Miles Mays, Adrian Madrigal. Right here, Caden's applying pressure. The ball doesn't cross the line of scrimmage, so even though he was outside the tackle box, it does count as a sack. Ford Caden does a really good job applying pressure and getting our offense some good starting field position around the 35. Here is a really good ball to Ken, who makes a good catch, makes a couple of people miss. And then we come back on third down, very difficult spot, and Gavin keeps his eyes up, makes a huge play right here by Ken along the sidelines to get us up around the 30-yard line. Options looking good. Gavin's a very explosive player. As he gets a little more confidence, that's going to become even better. Here's another catch by Ken up to give us the first down as we're driving the field. And, you know, this was kind of a tail. There's a good block by Ken. This is kind of a tail. We ended up getting within the 2-yard line and getting stopped. We jump off sides the first play for Ringgold, just kind of sloppy, but we end up making a good tackle. Very good scrape by Dominique right there to get Ringgold down on about the 1.5-yard line. And our guys had adjusted really quickly. Again, this very talented back. He rushed for 200 yards versus Heritage a couple of weeks ago, and the cutback had really hurt us, but here he's able to we're able to bring him down. We get our offense some great field position right about the 31. Unfortunately, we don't go very far. They try to throw the screen. Great job by Chance Whitfield to tackle. Good hustle by Miles Mays right there. Caden Ramsey with the fit. Dawson's got a fit outside, but there you see Cade Parker coming to clean out the slip off by the missed tackle by our other guys. And again, Ringgold gets a little bit of a roll down to about the 40, but still good field position for our offense. Good job right here by our offensive line and Cameron Collins getting a few yardage, but again, we ended up punting. We apply some pressure right there, basically our entire D-line, and we fill up the inside gap to allow our backers to flow. Dominique Johnson makes a great tackle on a very explosive athlete. This is a run that hurt us earlier, but our guys made some adjustment. There you see Tony Bernecki and Miles Mays and Dawson Whitmore all in on the tackle. Almost get a punt block right there. Would have been something that we really needed for our team, but we get the ball back right inside our 50 going in, the Ringgold 50, I should say, going in, and big first down catch right there. Good throw by Gavin, our offensive line. Bryant Stanley, Zach Rydens, Ethan Hooker, Cade Combs, and Andrew Welch all doing a good job of protecting us. We throw the screen up to Isaiah, and then Ken makes a few people miss as he gets in the end zone. And despite the sloppy first half, we are able to go up with not very long left as we go up 7-3 here with a couple minutes left in the half. We've got J.J. Plaza in. He kicks it deep. Not really where we want it. We want it more inside the hash because of the explosiveness of the number 0, but our guys do a really good job and get a tackle around the 20. They're trying the cutback that helped them so much early in the game, but again, our guys did a great job of adjusting and listening to our coaches, Coach Miner and Coach Brooker. Coach Sam's all doing a good job of getting our guys where we need to. They got a good screen play, but they were trying to pull the ball as we were blitzing off the edge, and we get a big turnover right before the half. With a chance to score, we don't have a lot of time. Gavin has a lot of time, but we don't have a lot of time left on the clock as Hudson catches the ball, and we definitely need to get out of bounds there. We end up throwing one in the end zone at the end of the half to go up, and it falls incomplete for the final score at the half to be Northwest 7, Ringgold 3. Welcome back to the Bruin Football Show. Let's talk a little bit about our defense. I told our defense there's going to be a lot of talk amongst people, whoever that is, about maybe the lack of success our offense had. But at the end of the day, if we played really well on defense, but if we play a little bit better, we still win that football game Friday. But I thought our effort of our guys were great. I thought we did a tremendous job. It is the best job we have done of having really bad field position, from turnovers on downs, big returns where we made the other team go for it on fourth down and not get it, or kick field goals. We've not been as successful as we were in this game. And I think that's a telltale sign that we can take away on the positive side for our defense. On the night, Miles Mays was a wrecking crew, playing really hard for us. Had 8 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 3 quarterback pressures. Just a very talented man that is a man out there, sometimes amongst what looks like to be boys. He is a very talented individual that's going to make big plays for us the rest of the year. Avery O'Neal runs down things. He plays so hard. We're so thankful he came out for his first year of football last year. He ended up with 7 tackles on the night. Adrian Madrigal is a guy who, when you look at the two ends and you look at his stature, you might not be impressed, but until you turn on film and watch him run to the football, he's slippery, he plays hard. He ended up with 6 tackles and a tackle for a loss. And then Tony Bernecki, a very good wrestler for us, who also plays linebacker, who has been our best special teams player this year. Maybe for a very long time, the best special teams player we had. He ended up playing on the D-line and getting 2 tackles and a quarterback pressure, and he also had 2 special teams tackles as well. At linebacker, Caden Ramsey is finally starting to feel more comfortable. We watched film about how good he had played, but how much more he could give to the team if he turns it loose. He took another step in the right direction and ended up with 14 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, a sack, and a recovered fumble. So a really productive night for him. Lucas Amos had 8 tackles and 2 tackles for a loss. Really, they weren't running to his side. Him and Miles end up on the same side a lot together, so they weren't going to test that side quite as much as they were the other, but still was very productive. Dominic Johnson had 7 tackles and a tackle for a loss from his inside linebacker position. Really, a missile does a good job of reading his keys, and he's really disciplined. Dawson Whitmore fought through a injury in the game, had a little bit of an ankle sprain, and we're hoping to nurse him back to health and play him this Friday. He had 8 tackles and then a tip pass that resulted in a caused interception for our DBs. Overall, really good night by our linebackers, but we definitely want to miss less tackles. The running back for Ringgold is a very good player, very compact, short to the ground, and kind of tough to get your arms around. But our group has to do a better job of tackling. But other than that, a very, very good night. Chance Whitfield ended up with 5 tackles and 2 pass breakups. Very talented young man, made a couple of mistakes in the game. I think it was his first official start of his high school career, and he's only going to get better. Plays really hard for us. Just discipline with his eyes is going to get him to be even more consistent for our defense. Hudson Gray only had 1 tackle, playing a ton of plays both ways, but ultimately Hudson's technique, his grade, his effort were all so much better. He's an offensive guy stepping over and playing defense, and did an outstanding job for us. And then at safety, I've said it last week, I'll say it again. Our 2 safeties are putting in the best safety performance that we have had in a few years, especially out of 2 of them. Cade Parker, a sophomore for us, came in with 8 tackles and an interception on the pass that was tipped by Dawson. May have gotten to the interception himself anyway, but it was able to go up and make a big play for us and a big turnover. And then Raven Foster ended up with 8 tackles for us as well, starting his second year as he's a junior. Going to be a big test for these guys as we go forward playing North Murray next week and all the throws that they have, but we'll discuss that a little bit later. At this time, let's take a look at the second half highlights. Start the second half and we get the ball on offense, and Caden Ramsey in at running back, and we get a Kendris the ball again. Good job by Hudson and Ken running their routes out there. Good read and throw by Gavin. There we run the option. They're coming hard off the edge, and Caden makes a couple of people miss. Kind of played the game a little bit dinged up for us. We appreciate his toughness and effort. Good catch by Hudson as he gets some good yardage here and sprints down the sideline, and we go up, end up scoring to make it 14-3 as J.J. Plaza kicks it through. Austin Cooley on the hold and Dawson Whitmore on the snap. Do not get a good kickoff. It's not what we wanted, but fortunately for us, we get a great tip by Dawson Whitmore, an interception by Cade Parker. Very exciting for the young man as he gets his first varsity interception. Good job by our offensive line. We end up driving a little bit and having to punt. And we got them down deep, and our guys, they tried to draw our guys off sides again. We do an outstanding job of flowing the ball. As you can see, Miles Mays flowing from sideline to sideline. Caden Ramsey had one of those tackles for a loss there, but kind of missed it. But still a good job, good fight right here by Chance Whitfield. Good coverage as he stayed over top of a very good athlete, and Ringgold has to punt from within side there on end zone. And, very dangerous pickup here, but we end up getting the ball with good field position around the 46, 47-yard line. Gavin on the carry as he weaves through the Ringgold defense. And things are looking good right now. You know, we're flowing on offense. We just had a big play, good stop on defense, good field position, and we're moving. Another good catch by Ken as he catches the deep curl in front of those guys, and Hudson catches the ball on the sideline, unfortunately steps out of bounds, and we end up kind of stalling there, but J.J. Plaza hits his first field goal of his career here for the Bruins, about a 33, 34-yarder, and then we get a kickoff. Again, it's not exactly what we want. We want it to be harder. Good job by our guys flowing the ball. We've just got a lot of people coming in as they take over around midfield. They hit us with a long quarterback run, but our defense does an outstanding job of kind of standing up there for several plays, but then they hit a long run. We kind of lost them in the backfield here. A very physical run by Isaiah Foster as he is running down the sideline, run the option again. Gavin takes it and weaves through as he gets up close to midfield. I believe we fumbled the ball that they returned for a touchdown. This is a big two-point conversion. As you can see, Miles and Caden Ramsey and Adrian all in there. And again, we're on the goal line again. We've got Dominique Johnson in there on a big tackle, and they ended up scoring to cut it 17-15. Now we're back on defense. We had some miscues on offense, and they're within striking distance, and our defense does an outstanding job of ultimately making them kick a field goal to go up 18-17. Our offense gets the ball back, stalls very quickly. You can see the explosiveness of number 0, but great tackle by Dawson Whitmore. Good job by our guys, good coverage. They had completed this earlier in the game, but Chance Whitfield does a good job of zone turning this time and getting his body into the guy, not having an interference call. Here's a good tackle. Our guys running the ball. I really like seeing the number of Bruins that are pursuing the football right here. As you can see, we're facing good athletes, and Miles Mays and Caden combine on a tackle for a loss. They're down inside again, and our guys are just flying around trying to keep them out, have taken a lot of pride in keeping them out of the end zone, back them up. I think they get a holding call. Our guys continue to flow and move. As we've got them going back even further, they're trying to hit the back out of the backfield, and they wheel through, and our safety there, Cade Parker, does a good job. And here we got Adrian Madrigal and I believe Lucas Amos and Caden Ramsey all converging. Here we got Dawson Whitmore and Dominique Johnson. Good job by Caden Ramsey. A flow by Avery O'Neal getting those stops. You can see how many plays we're playing on defense to try and keep these guys from scoring. Just an outstanding job by our guys. And then we ultimately get the ball back with no timeouts. We had roughed the kicker on an 18-17 where they tried a field goal and missed it. We had to use all our timeouts. And unfortunately, we drove the ball but ran out of time as Ringgold finishes with the win 21-17 over the Bruins. Welcome back to the Northwest Bruin Football Show. This coming week is a big week. We have our recreation night here where we recognize all our youth football players, and it's also middle school night. So it's going to be hopefully a very full night, a very packed house for our football team as we try to get back on the right track. And then we're playing the North Murray team with some very explosive football players. It's going to be a big test for our defense, as good as all the other teams were. North Murray presents something different, and they're going to throw the ball a lot and mix in the run. And so it's going to be a good trial for our guys and hopefully send us in the right direction. Of course, we want to end up on top, but we want to learn some lessons and make some plays on some balls that will help us in the long term as we get to region play. North Murray is off to a very good start with a good record and has some explosive players on both sides of the ball. So it's going to be a good challenge, I believe. Every game that has been played between the two teams has ended up around a touchdown or less margin. I think the last time we played here, I believe they beat us 31-30, but it was a very close game. So anyone that shows up on Friday should be expecting a very entertaining football game as two teams go out and battle for another victory and to head in the right direction on their year. Until next week, this is Josh Robinson with Northwest Football.